am truly honored to introduce our guest for today's webinar, our guest, Tyrone Hall, who's a true luminary with a wealth of knowledge and experience. His impressive achievement and contribution to the field have earned him a well-deserved reputation. So we are fortunate to have him to share his insights and valuable perspectives. So everyone, please welcome Tyrone Hall.
Hey Tyrone,
Hello.
how are you
Hey,
doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Very good, very good. Thank you so much, Tyrone, for taking up your time and coming as a guest today, and not as a participant.
No
So,
problem.
so Tyrone, I mean, we would be happy to know a little bit about your background and where are you working right now. I'm sure if the audience comes to know where you are working, they will be very inspired. I'm very sure.
Well, okay. I currently work at Microsoft as a SOC analyst.
See, I mean, I am sure that people must be inspired. Yeah. So how was the journey? I mean, honestly, this is very an interesting profile that you're targeting. So how
hmm
did you actually, got it, and what was your journey? If you can just talk about for 5 minutes, I promise people out here will feel like, okay, this is what I want.
Well, it kind of honestly started with the cloud, honestly. I came and learned that ThinkCloudly has been tremendous help in my journey. I started out with AWS, solutions architect. And what happened was there was a lot of DevOps going on in the cloud, right? And my Linux skills, I was already a Linux admin at the time, and being able to bridge those gaps, I had to kind of get the skills that kind of I needed to kind of not be in a traditional class setup and kind of hit the floor running. So I think Cloudly provided that. Um, they provided the one-on-one group kind of sessions to allow me to dissect, break, fix, build, and deploy some of the greatest automation tools that the world has today that we use. They also prolonged my education in Python. They stretched me, understanding the continuing integration, continuing delivery, the whole life cycle of that, um, until I became a specialist in Jenkins, Ansible, Terraform, um, uh, CloudFormation, all the types of tools that we use to basically automate our systems. Um, and it happened rather quickly. It didn't seem like it, but eventually, when I look back, wow, we done covered a lot in about 5 to 7 weeks, Um, and I want to thank y'all guys, for allowing me to grow like that. So when the SOC analyst thing happened, because if you know it or not, it's a big push for having everything monitored across the board all over the world. So the SOC analyst skill set ended up being the number one skill set far as in cybersecurity as it related to monitoring systems, um, and threats and things of that nature. And I jumped on it, and thanks to I didn't have any cyber experience, but the Linux skill set and having the DevOps skills, because in this skill set, you do a lot of tooling more so on the command line other than, searching for errors, you know, uh, logs and things of that nature. But yeah, that's about it. Think Cloudly brought me a long way. I want to thank the Think Cloudly team. And I look forward to prolonging my education with y'all.
No, Tyron, I mean, it's just not think loudly and the instructors, it is certainly your efforts. I mean, I believe that think loudly alone is not responsible for students' success. It's certainly students' own hard work, which actually, takes you at that level. Because imagine you are learning DevOps, you know Linux well, and imagine
Mhm.
that you're securing a SOC analyst job role at one point of time, it even surprises, that how someone with different skills can actually get into cybersecurity. One is like it's certainly a demand. Like demand right now for cybersecurity and DevOps is actually booming at this point of time. And you had
Mhm.
the cloud exposure as well, which is AWS solution architect. So,
Yeah.
and Tyron, one thing which no one has ever talked about, whenever we call student as a guest, that how does it feel like when you work an organization like Microsoft? Because Microsoft is certainly a dream for probably many of the students that if I get placed in
Yes.
Microsoft, there are a bunch of benefits what I'm gonna get. Not just
Yes.
benefits, but also like how do you feel like to work for an organization which is an IT pioneer, and it is one of that organization where everyone wants to work? So what about you? Like, what's your experience? How do you feel like to work for an organization like Microsoft?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right out front, if you have the skills, they will roll out the carpet for you. I'll tell you that right now. The salaries are mind blowing. And just the experience, I give you experience. They are very flexible. I mean, you can work from home. It's like hybrid. You kind of I mean, I've been working from home probably like 6 months now, for Microsoft. And I kind of got a little bored, and I had asked my manager, "Hey, is it okay if I come in?" You're gonna laugh when I say this. He said, "Yeah, bring your dog. You can bring your pet to work, man." Unbelievable. So the experience is great. They take this. They want you to be stress free, right? They want you to be happy, and they want you to stay with the company. So it makes me just want to go even harder. What skills do I need to know, right? And I'll make a list to it. And as you know, I'll make a plan to learning anything and everything to kind of put me as an asset to this Microsoft team. So one thing that people need to know, all you have to do be yourself and just get the skills that pay the bills. Get the skills that pay the bills and have a determination not to quit. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, ThinkCloudly staff. I've been working with a gentleman on some higher stuff. He has been such very patient. You say you may not get something the first time, the second time, or even the third time. They are so patient with you. They won't even move on to the next thing unless you are good with the topic that's here. Okay, I see a question in the chat that say, when you're a SOC analyst, do you mean the SOC? Well, when they talk about the SOC, right, they're talking about like a closed and skiff type situation, right, where we actually work at, right? The framework is risk management framework that they use. I believe the category is 853, right? Um, and the position itself is known as the SOC analyst, but it's also known as 11 other different names too. But they high on incident reporting, threat analysis, and those threat detection. So yeah, Microsoft is the best, man.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's superb. You know what, like Tyron, it is seriously everyone's dream to be there. But let's say, let me ask you one question, which is again an interesting question, that when you have already gotten a job in Microsoft, so will you still keep on learning new skills, or do you think you are done because you have achieved already?
Oh no, I'm definitely not done. In this game in tech, it's always good. It's all right. I guess I can explain it like this now. You have to get the skills that's going to make you longevity, the top skills, which is Linux, DevOps, cloud, right? And if you go into cyber, you just choose a cyber skill to go into. You have to get the main skills, the foundational skills, and you have to make sure that those skills stay up at all time, right? You never stop learning because it's always something new. So like right now, I'm kind of bridging what I want to get into AI machine learning, or because AI machine learning kind of falls into the data scientist area. Um, just because of how technology is moving, and I want to I have a lot of DBA knowledge, so I didn't want to kind of go into data analysts. So I wanted to kind of go a little higher to kind of deal with, and data scientist is a major skill set across all technology if you're dealing with AI, machine learning. So my goal is to kind of reach that, but to kind of make sure that I have all the foundational layers, so that if I ever needed to scale back and kind of teach it to my children or what have you, I can.
But thank you so much, Tyron, for coming up and sharing your information, sharing your success story with all the students.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.